Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shanika. If you guys are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you. If you don't already, please go ahead and turn your post notifications on so that you can never miss a video every time I post, you guys. I really appreciate you guys for stopping by, and let's just get straight into the video. So today we are going to be talking about male Brazilians. I always get a ton of questions on, how I feel about the situation. Is it weird? Is it not weird? What made me get into it? Why do guys do it? Or is this only certain type of men do it? What type of men do it? This, that, and the third. So people are so curious about male Brazilians, and I understand. I get it. It's something different. It's something new, and it's something that's not always really talked about. And so I am here to answer the questions for both the males that are looking to get a wax and for the women, or men or women who are looking to perform male Brazilians. Yeah, so let's just get straight into it. I want to start by saying that where I work, and this is only where I work, male Brazilians is an option. Nobody at my job is forced to do them. It is something that you can either decide to do or not to do. And a lot of people want to know what made me decide that I wanted to do male Brazilians. And the simple answer is because I just wanted to broaden my skills as a professional, you guys. I didn't want to be X'd out of any opportunities to reach higher goals. It was a little nerve-wracking. It was very nerve-wracking. You always have to keep in the back of your mind your safety, your comfort, their safety, their comfort, because it's not a one-way street. This is very uncomfortable. This is a very uncomfortable situation for the male as well. First question that I get pretty often, you guys, waxing just something that gay guys do? No, you guys, like, honestly, from what I am told, because you never know so I don't ask people's what their sexual preference is, because it's inappropriate. But a lot of times when I do have men who come to me, it's because they told me that they were referred by their wives or their girlfriends who come, or it is a gay guy who comes in. You guys, like, waxing is just maintenance for that area. It's a part of your hygiene routine. So we don't look at it as if it's a woman's thing at my job. We just look at it as we try to educate guests and let them know that it's just a way to prevent ingrown hairs, the itchiness, the irritation. Your hair grows back thinner, your hair grows back less. It's a solution to a problem. You know what I mean? So it has nothing to do with your sexual preference. And quite honestly, I really don't personally care what your sexual preference is. When you come into my room, I have nothing to do with that. I have one job. I'm there to remove the hair. But to answer that question that I get pretty often, is it just something that gay guys do? The answer is absolutely not. The question is, what does a male Brazilian feel like? That's a question that I really can't answer. I can't answer 100%, because of course I'm not a male, and I do know that there are we have different parts than they have, and so there's slightly a different type of technique that you use when you're waxing a man. But in general, I can tell you that it hurts whether you're a male or a female. So waxing is not an easy process initially, because you have to deal with the anxiety of just having hair ripped from your privates, and then you also have to deal with the fact that it is going to be a service that is painful. So the best advice that I could give you is to mentally prepare yourself for a wax. Go in there understanding that you are going to expect some pain, but there is going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And if you have a good waxer who helps you feel comfortable throughout your service, everything should be okay. Okay guys, so the next question is it uncomfortable? And the answer is yes. I think it's uncomfortable on both both parties, for both parts. So it's uncomfortable for the waxer at first, of course, if this is something that they have not done before, or something that they're pretty new to, or even if it's something that you've done for a really long time. In general, it can be an uncomfortable situation. It's not only uncomfortable for me, it's also uncomfortable for the client. So that's why it's up to the waxer, up to the professional to lighten the mood. It might start out uncomfortable, but you never want to make that client feel like they're making you uncomfortable for something that you signed up for. Like, you chose to do this job. You, like I said, this is always going to be an option. You chose to sign up for this service, so you should be making sure that you're making your client feel comfortable at all times. So in all honesty, is there some uncomfortable, you know, feelings when you're doing this job? Yes, but you as the waxer, you should put that aside to make sure that you're putting your client's feelings ahead of your own, because it's a very vulnerable situation, whether they are a female or a male. Okay, so the next question is, should I trim the hair before my wax service? And the answer is no. You never want to trim, whether you are a male or a female, before any wax services, because that can prevent your hair from coming up clean and smooth and easy. You know, say that some waxers like to trim. I think it's more like preference. I don't like trimming at all, because I feel like it prevents the hair from coming up. So the short answer is no, you should not be trimming before your service. This question is, should I be exfoliating with any special type of mitt? And the short answer is no. You don't really need to go out and spend $20 on an exfoliating mitt, because that's not the most important part of exfoliating. You want to make sure that your product is you know, if you're going to spend the money, make sure you spend it on a product. The product is the most important part of the exfoliating. The mitt is just an accessory. So you can go out to like the dollar store or Target or Walmart, and you can pay $2 for exfoliating mitt, but $30 for exfoliator, and it'll work, you know, just as good. The next question is, will the male get aroused during the service? And the answer is, it's a possibility, you guys. Like, it's a possibility that the male can get aroused, but in that moment, it's up to the waxer to remain professional and not let that deter them from doing their job. Because where I work at, they kind of like prep you and prepare you for these things. So I kind of had a possibility that this was going to happen my first time, feeling that it would possibly happen. So I was kind of prepared for it. But I can tell you that if it does happen, it ain't happening for long, because this is not at all a pleasurable experience. Like, this does not feel good. There's nothing sexual about a wax. So if, you know, someone does get aroused during your service, immediately, soon as you rip that hair off, whatever feeling they had goes away, and then they realize real quick that this is not that. So, and I'm not saying that if someone gets aroused that they're being a creep, or they're, you know, trying to, like, you know, insinuate anything. It's something that just happens. The body just does during the service. That's why they tell us. That's why they told us that before we even started waxing, that it's a possibility. But even if their brain knows that this is not, you know, preparing your body for, you know, something sexual to happen, you know, you just might get that feeling. But, you know, like I said, once you rip that wax off, you get that, you know, you get a wake up call real quick that this is not that, and whatever you was thinking, you should probably unthink it and keep doing your deep breaths in and out, because this is not that. So yes, it can happen. Is it weird? At first it was, but again, now, like I said, I understand that it just happens, and I know how to maneuver around that. Just keep it moving. So yes, it can happen. If you are a professional, I would say ignore it. You know, just try to just ignore it, act like it's not even there. That's my technique. I don't even acknowledge that that's going on. I just ignore it, because at this point it's normal. It's just kind of like when you're waxing a woman and she has like some discharge. You know, she could have went to the bathroom and wiped herself down completely, but as soon as she lay down, you start to see, you know, you start to notice there's some discharge there. In that case, you know, we gotta, you know, ignore it, get a wipe, you know, do what we gotta do and keep it moving, because these are just things that happen. You know, you're human. This is just the things that happen with your body, and these are sometimes the person that's getting the service they can't control it. So, but that's up to you as the waxer to not make them feel uncomfortable in that situation, because again, it can be uncomfortable for them just like it might be uncomfortable for you. You just gotta remain professional, and again, this is the job that we signed up for. So yes, it can very much happen, but me personally, I act like it's not even there. Question is, what if, or can your client pre-ejaculate? And the answer is yes. Yeah, that's another thing that they kind of prepared us for before we even decided that it was something that we were going to do. And it's just like the last question, it's not something that the person can necessarily control. So you got to kind of act like, you know, it's not there. Just like I said, if a woman, you know, has some discharge there, you just kind of like got to keep it moving as the professional. You know, there's things that you do, I'm not going to get into it, but there's things that you do in between the service to make sure, you know, that it doesn't interfere with your wax. But you don't allow that to control how you wax your client, because these are things that happen when you're dealing with somebody's area down there, and you just gotta kind of act like it's not going on. Now, that is not a door to be open to think that it's okay for somebody to, you know, go all the way. That is inappropriate, and that causes for a whole nother type of conversation. The service would be immediately stopped, because that's not a part of, you know, that's something completely different. And yeah, so there's a difference between the two. There's definitely a difference between the two. There's a situation where, you know, fluid might just happen, and then there's a situation where somebody is being inappropriate. And I think that, you know, everybody who's in this situation, you know the difference between the two. And if you ever are feeling uncomfortable in a situation as the waxer, then you immediately stop the service. It's never happened to me, but if it did happen to me, that's a whole nother different story time for a different day, because yeah, that's inappropriate, and I would never allow it. I would not allow that to go on. I try to keep this service as black and white and plain and simple as it can be, because I don't want to blur any lines between me and the client. I don't want to feel uncomfortable when I'm doing the service, and I don't want my client to feel uncomfortable. So there's a line that you have to really walk and kind of keep, so that you're not blurring any lines and allowing anybody to be inappropriate with you, and you also don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. So again, I really do think it takes a certain type of person to perform this kind of service, because you have to have the mindset. If you know, think a little too deep and a little too hard into the situation, you might get a little uncomfortable. But also too, don't ever let anybody make you feel uncomfortable on either side. So yeah, so the short answer is yes. And if you are the client and you're getting a service and that happens, you really shouldn't be embarrassed by it, because it's something that happens. You know, it is very normal. The question is, can I work out afterwards? The answer is, we really prefer you to wait 24 hours before you do anything that's going to cause you to sweat, and that is because your pores are open. When your pores are open, sweat gets inside your pores, and it causes bacteria, which can then lead to ingrown hairs and breakouts and things like that. So technically, no, you shouldn't work out right after your service. But if you do, like, I have some clients who are like, I don't care what you say, I'm going to go work out, or I'm going to go do this or that, you know, after my wax. I say just make sure that you are using some type of treatment directly after, wiping yourself down. Just try to keep yourself clean, and making sure that you're using something to prevent that bacteria from going back down here. Next question is, can I have sex afterwards? And again, the same thing goes for the gym. You really want to wait 24 hours before you are doing anything that's going to cause you to sweat a lot. So if you don't wait 24 hours, make sure you got some wipes, some serum, some something to go ahead and wipe on you after, so that you're not causing that bacteria to get into the pores and turning it into breakouts. So that's my answer. Next question is, how often should I come? You want to make sure that you are waxing once every 4 weeks. You want to get yourself on a consistent scale. It's 4 to 6 weeks, so some people might not have to come once every 4 weeks, and some people, you know, might not want to come every 4 weeks. So there's really no one size fit all answer to your situation, because I have clients who probably come to me maybe 5 times a year because they really don't grow hair as much. And I have people who come to me, you know, literally once a month, which is 12 times a year. So it really just depends on how your hair grows back, and, you know, also your situation, because waxing is not cheap. So okay, you guys, that was all the questions that I could find that were, I guess, specifically geared towards male waxing. If you guys have any questions, like I said, any more questions about the service, if you are a waxer and you want to know a little bit more about it, if you are a male and you want to know a little bit more about it, please go ahead and just leave the questions down below. I'll ask as long as it's appropriate. I'm not answering any inappropriate questions. I just wanted to put that out there immediately. I don't even play that, so don't even try it. But if you guys are looking for any educational questions on the topic, please go ahead and leave them down below. I wanted to keep this video kind of like straight to the point and quick, and just answer some general questions. I do plan on doing a video in the future about how males can prepare for their Brazilians, and I want to also do a video about how waxers can prepare for male Brazilians. But I feel like in this video I just wanted to kind of like just do a general video of a lot of the questions that I have been getting, and just kind of put it out there. So I hope I answered one of your questions that you have. And yeah, if you guys like this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Please don't be a stranger. I really appreciate you guys so much if you made it this far. And until next time, see you guys later. Bye.